Do Taylor Swift's politics matter? Looking at the pop star and the 2024 election. Taylor Swift has more than double the number of followers across Instagram, TikTok, and X, about 412 million as of the end of July, as total votes cast in the last U.S. presidential election. Her influence has driven mass voter registrations in elections past and now, mere months ahead of the 2024 election. Her name is a rallying cry for MAGA crowds and coconut-crazed Vice President Kamala Harris supporters alike. And yet, Swift herself hasn't actually spoken, this election cycle, at least, about any candidates or even her plans to vote in the coming presidential election. That leaves us to guess if and when she will come out with her second-ever endorsement of a candidate for president. Based on her record of voting and prior political stance, it's not a stretch for fans, including the hashtag #SwiftiesForHarris already organizing in her name, to confidently expect a Democratic ticket endorsement. And in recent days, fans' confidence has been reaching a fever pitch, starting with the choice of Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as Harris' running mate. Walz earned Swifties' seal of approval earlier this year when he signed into law House File 1989, or the Taylor Swift bill, taking aim at ticket resellers. For Walz, pushing the law through was personal. He had tweeted his frustration after not being able to buy Eras tour tickets in a very cat-forward and Swift-coded way. That's already positioned him as a far cry from J.D. Vance and his talk of childless cat ladies, a comment that won the GOP vice presidential nominee no points among fans of Swift, perhaps the most famous childless cat lady in the world. Walz seems to offer another figure for Swifties to easily rally around, and Swift may soon be ready to join them. Social media users are speculating she's likely to save any official endorsements for the Democratic National Convention later this month. The likelihood of an upcoming endorsement aside, it needs to be said that questions remain about the Speak Now singer's election silence. Those include, what does that silence say about Swift's level of advocacy and her real political involvement? If she does get involved in the election, will she simply encourage people to vote, or will she take a stance with more stakes? And perhaps most of all, do her plans to vote even matter? To answer that, we've synthesized some of the criticism Swift has faced for her approach to politics up to now, and what critics think she could do differently in 2024 and beyond. Taylor Swift and the 2024 election. What to know? For someone who's yet to publicly speak about the 2024 presidential election, Swift's name sure is stamped all over it. First, there were the MAGA meltdown, provoking conspiracies about February's Super Bowl, with far-right Republicans calling Swift and Travis Kelce's relationship fake, the NFL game rigged, and a win by Kelce's Kansas City Chiefs, all a Pentagon ploy to get President Joe Biden reelected. Speaking to his Truth Social followers, former President Donald Trump opted not to play into conspiracies for once by saying there was no way the not as popular as he is Swift would endorse Biden, given it would be disloyal. At the same time, talk was circulating among Democrats about how to court a second pro-Biden showing from Swift. In 2020, she'd share her first-ever public endorsement of a presidential candidate via a plate of Biden-Harris frosted sugar cookies that, depending on your view of Swift's politics, either cheekily defied or played directly into criticism of her safe bordering on sugary brand of activism. Criticism aside, scoring another Swift endorsement became so common a talking point that in the job posting for a social media role on Biden's campaign, applicants were told not to share any more Taylor Swift strategy takes. The team had plenty already, thanks. By June, Trump appeared to be courting a Swift endorsement himself in a decidedly creepy interview where he gushed over her unusually beautiful looks and seemed to suggest Swift might secretly support him. Reversing an earlier Swift critical stance, it was a view more likely to please the conservative Swifties in Trump's fan base. At least, the ones who aren't among the 1 in 5 Republicans who believe Swift is a Pentagon psyop. But then, July 21 happened when Biden announced he was dropping out of the election and backing Harris. Amid the wave of celebratory memes that followed, the work of Swifties was clearly felt, including through fanrun at Swifties 4 Kamala accounts. As of the end of July, that group had 16.2K followers on Instagram, nearly 50K followers on X, and a group chat with committees overseeing everything from beating Harris friendship bracelets to raising donations in increments of $13, Swift's favorite number, for the Harris campaign.